Welcome back. It's been about 2 months since we've given you an official update. For some of you who might be new here, we are missionaries. We are Baptist, independent Baptist missionaries serving in Southeastern Europe. We're not the missionaries that bring medicine and eyeglasses and shoes. We're the type that just teach the Bible, because we believe that's the best way to fix our culture, the world, and the hearts, and crime, disease, all these things we believe can be fixed by the Bible itself. Now, I am on the verge of sickness, so I'm trying to get this update done as quick as possible before I am bedridden for the next few days, because I am slowly going down. So, we're going to get through this. It can let you see what's been going on, and so you can pray for us and lift us up to the Lord. So here we go. Before I get started, as many of you probably don't know, I have been struggling with an addiction. Not a typical addiction, nothing dark, nothing evil. Well, maybe some might think it to be a waste of time, but I'll show you that here towards the end of this video of my little... But however, I do want to say that God has cured me from this, and I'm no longer bound to this addiction. But before I talk about that, I want to tell you about what's been going on in our lives. It is springtime here in Southeastern Europe, and so we have planted a garden, a little small one. We're trying to do our best, but the kids enjoy it, and the wife enjoys having some fresh vegetables to be able to cook and do things with. Actually, this is my health concoction here that she has blended up into I call them a thickie. Or maybe I call them a chunky, because a smoothie is smooth. Yes, this is not quite smooth. It's smoother than it was. I'll say that. But this is a chunky, okay, or a thickie, you might call it. But it's supposed to be good for my health. So she's trying to keep me from crashing too hard here. Some of our kids already went through this sickness, and I typically get things about a week later than everyone else for some reason. So we're expecting me to crash here before too long. So also one of the things that we've done is we have our house that we try to do little things on here and there to make it more livable. And as you have seen pictures in the past, our house in the village, it has a concrete floor, and we've been waiting to put a snap together a fake floor in here, but it's been so unlevel we'd not be able to do that. So we've taken the time, and I think it's cost about $500 for all the material to level the floor. Now, if you'll see here in the center of the floor is where the high spot is, right? Where that mixer is where the high spot is. And so everything else has to be floated and leveled. And then on top of that, what we've been doing is we haven't done it yet. Next week we should. We've already purchased the material. It's the self-leveling concrete. And so you put that on top, and then you smooth it around, and it self-levels. And so we'll have a perfectly level floor, hopefully. We'll be able to put our snap-together vinyl laminate flooring down, and then put our kitchen, everything back together, and have a nice place there. So it's been fun. The kids really enjoy working with me. So you can see us here mixing up all the concrete. And then we have one of our neighbors there in the village. He came over and helped us to level everything for the most part. It's not perfect by no means, but it's just going to be a fill because the self-leveling concrete is very expensive. So we use this regular concrete to fill in the gaps. And it's basically like, at the worst part, I'd say it's about 1.5 inches, maybe an inch and a quarter on the deepest spots that we filled. So that was good. Of course, we have other things. I think 3 of us went to the hospital in the last 2 weeks. Milos had he fell and he'd cut his little noggin. And I was trimming the grass with a weed eater without safety goggles. Yes, mother, I know I should not do that. I'd even told the doctors when I went to the hospital that my mother always told me not to do this, but I did not listen to her. So I thought there would be something in it, but they looked in there. There wasn't. It was just a very deep scratch. So they just gave me some topical ointment to put on it and everything as well. Now we have Nikolai. We're taking him to the doctor today because of just some stomach bug stuff that just doesn't seem to want to go away. So see what we can do with that. So Kaylin's been trying to get us all cleaned up and fixed up with all the fresh vegetables and everything. But this one it seems to be lingering pretty good. So, of course, we just had what we would call Resurrection Sunday. Many people refer to it as Easter. Some refer to it as the Passover. Praise the Lord for our Jewish friends, but we don't celebrate the Passover. And we do thank the Lord for our friends in the world, but we also don't celebrate Easter. Passover and Easter, we believe, are two different things, but so is the resurrection. So we had our church come together for a Resurrection Sunday, that day when Christ rose. And so we got together, had food and fellowship after that, and that was good. So the church has been a blessing. Things have been good. We have, over here on my list, we have 5 new friends of ours who want to join the church here. And so we're going to start our 6-week Bible lessons where we go through all the different good topics, the resurrection, the return of Christ. We're going to talk about the Bible, salvation, baptism, all these things. So we're going to start those coming May 3rd. So pray for that as we do that. And we have, again, these are 5 different friends that are wanting to join us here. Of course, you remember our 2 Brazilian friends. They left and they went back home. Things are going well with them. And so it's just wild. Sometimes people go and sometimes the Lord brings more. And so I'm often balancing my time between family, between the work of an evangelist as like a missionary, going and trying to reach the world around us. And then also I spend quite a bit of my time as what a pastor might do as far as going to visit the sheep and going to visit the church members and to deal with different situations and problems with them as too. So it's been good. It's been busy. And now I'm getting ready to go through this time of sickness. And we'll recover, Lord willing, and God will be glorified through it all. It's just time. My pastor is planning on coming. He's already got his tickets. He'll be here in a couple weeks. So we have some big plans for him. And then we're going to talk about the future. What do we do? This little building that we have now is getting smaller as we grow. And so we've got to start talking about the future, what to do. I've got stacked around me Bibles. We have 1,000. We ordered 1,000 Bibles in Latinx, or the Latin version. And then we also ordered another 1,000, and they're in our other spot. We're looking at getting a container that we can be able to hold basically our books, our material. So we're going to be doing that hopefully here soon. So pastor's going to come. We're going to kind of talk strategy, think about that. And then potentially there might be even another small group come over. I've asked for like a missions audit. And so potentially they might be coming over sometime. We're still talking to them about that and just talk about, hey, how are we doing? What can we do better? What are we wasting our time on? And things like that. So that's cool. One other thing that's pretty awesome is last night I took my boys to the sports center here to look at maybe getting them involved in some kind of sport activity. Now, I grew up with baseball and other sports, but the downside to sports is many times it draws people and people's hearts away from the things of God and into the things of the world. As a missionary on the foreign field, on a foreign land, it's difficult to, 1, learn language, 2, make friends, and other things. So we're trying to pray about what to do as far as how to get the kids involved in something that we can be involved in as well. And we found out through this Kragujevats campaign that we talked about a while back. We met a guy down there, and he just so happens to be a kind of the head over the baseball league here in our country. And so, he came to our meetings, and I've been meeting with him. And so through that, we found these guys here in our town. And we met with him yesterday, and I said, listen, I am a Baptist preacher. And I told him how we want our kids to be involved, to learn the language. And then we want the kids to be able to make some friends under the right circumstances. But we also have to keep our priorities straight. And so we're not going to be able to make all the practices. We're not going to be able to go to most of the games because they're on the weekends and things. And we tell our kids this, that we have to keep the Lord first and not get distracted by the things of the world. And so we talked to him about that. He said, no, that's fine. We just kids want to play together, come on throughout the week, whenever, on the weekends. If you guys have time, can make it. He was very open to it, so it was pretty cool. So also, it kind of looks like there may be a small opportunity for me to potentially participate in helping. That's a very small league, and they need people to donate their time. So how cool would it be to potentially one day be able to use that as a way to speak with people, infiltrate, you might say, the minds of lost people. Anyways, that was cool. I think that's about it. Oh, yes, my addiction. Yes. So I'll take you over here and show you. We had our Brazilian friends go away back to Brazil. And one of the things he had himself a 3D printer. And he tried to sell it before he left, but he just couldn't get it sold. And so we said, hey, we'll buy it from you and then we'll sell it, so you don't have to hang on to it. So it was about $150. It was exactly $150. So we bought it. And I thought, while it's being sold, why don't I practice with this thing and just see how it is? And I'm telling you, that got to be addicting. I'm telling you, I made trying to make a soap dish before it died for my wife, book stands for our materials that we print, so they display, track holders. And we have these devices for listening. People can listen in different languages, but before we had them all piled into a box and they would get tangled up. So I made little holders for these things so they can each individually have their own case, right? And the price to make these things is next to nothing, cents. So this has been my addiction. So it's been fun. And however, the other day I walked into, so what I usually do is I'll come here. This area here is my office. We pay rent for it separately. The area right across there is the church, and the church people pay for that. And so this is my office space, but the church uses it during Sundays as well. So we have all of our equipment here, Bibles and everything here. So that's why we're trying to get a container, is to move this into there, and then the church can use this space more freely. So I walked in here the other day. What I do is before I go home or when I come in, I'll just hit print on something and it'll print it, and it might print all night. And then I'll come back in the next day and voila, it's done. Okay. So I was going to print a soap dish for my lovely wife. That's what she asked me to make her. And so I said, okay, so I will go home. I push print, and if everything's going well, everything's doing fine. I come back in the next morning and I have this. The plate was on the floor. All these big goo balls were running around the table. The machine was still working, but not well. And then the wheels on the bottom of the printer worked themselves off and fell down. So it was the worst complete disaster I've ever seen. So even as I'm trying to clean it up, something shorts and the circuit board now needs to be reflashed, and I don't have the equipment to reflash the circuit board. So until I find a mechanic that works on these things here, we are done. And my addiction has been killed and removed from my life. Some would say for the better. But, back when I was in the U.S., I had other things, hunting, fishing. These were the things that I had hobbies. Okay, we could call them a hobby. All right. But when these hobbies become too important to you, you can also call them addiction. There's many guys that I knew that were addicted to fishing or addicted to hunting. And this was not good, as an overabundance of love for something. So I don't know if this 3D printer was actually an addiction or if it was getting close to it, but it was good while it lasted, and I enjoyed it. Who knows? Maybe we'll buy someday. Maybe we'll invest in another one or something. I don't know, but it was kind of fun, something to do. I don't really have a lot of hobbies here, but to make little trinkets and toys for the kids, and then little things we can use for the church. Why not? So, anyways, that's it. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. Thanks for your prayers. It's always encouraging if you guys give this a thumbs up. It lets me know you watched it and that you're praying for us. So thank you. God bless. Stay faithful. Until next time, may the Lord be with you in all that you do. And I'm always trying to think about some quick little saying to add at the end of my videos, and I got nothing. All I can think of is just to encourage you to fear the Lord and to follow Him in all your ways. Proverbs 3:6 says, "In all thy ways acknowledge Him, and He shall direct thy path." God bless. I'm going to go finish the day, and I'm going to go home and try to recover from this, and we'll see you in a few months if we don't see you in between then. Stay faithful. Stay encouraged. Ciao.